How to respond to criticism. Hi, I'm Shushmita. I'm a painter, a graphic designer, a copywriter. 50 Shades of Creative is a compilation of my 12 years of experience in painting, graphic design, and copywriting, in brand communication and advertisement. Here I am to make things easier for you, simpler for you, and to make sure that you don't make the mistakes I did. So, today, let us start with how to respond to criticism. I know this is the very beginning of the year and 2020 has been very challenging. And as I go through online, I see a lot of people making comments, and even in my students, I have noticed something that when we are giving criticism to someone, usually there are a certain types of responses that we receive from the other end as a mentor, as a guide. Okay, that is my Mowgli, the okay, the growl you're hearing, that is my son, Mowgli. Anyways, so there are certain types of behavior that we notice in our students, in people around us, in our working environment. So, when we say criticism, let us be very clear about how and what do we define at criticism. Did you ever, if you are a creative professional, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you are a musician, you will see that finding a good critique is next to impossible. Why is that? Critics are most expensive. You will find many free websites, many free platforms for creative professionals, but for critiques, you have to pay. And those are very expensive services when you find critiques. Why is that? Because critique consists of three parts. Number one, that is appreciation. At the very beginning, there, or maybe not at the very beginning, but a critic, if you're a critic and if you want to criticize something, make sure that your speech as criticism consists of three elements. Number one, appreciation. That is, you appreciate their good things. Let's say, if I talk about my background right now, you will see there are certain posters because I love posters, and you will see something taped because those are, something I taped according to priority and something I need to check all the time. And now his toy is here somewhere, so my son is angry. Anyways, so that is something that I need to remind myself of, and those are some very important notes. And you will see my window, and you can see a lot of things. There are some baggages on top of the closet, the cabinet, because we just moved. So if you are a critic and then you want to give me criticism for my background, number one, there must be three elements in any order. Number one, there should be an appreciation of anything. Absolutely, maybe you like my posters, maybe you like the style, how I have arranged this space, and maybe you may like the window or anything. And then there would be the bad part, and the bad part is pointing out the weaknesses. And the weakness would be, let's say I talk about background all the time, I talk about presentation all the time, then how come my background is so messy? Where is my bookshelf? So that is a weak side you can just put out. And the third part is opinion. Now you need to be very sure about opinion and do not mix it up with criticism. Opinion is something I think of, and that may be a strength for someone, that may be weakness for someone, but when you are giving very precise criticism, stick to the element. Don't give opinion, yeah, I saw someone back then who did something like this and that was nothing like yours. I don't want to know. Be very relevant to the topic you are giving criticism to. And then if you have opinion, make it as a note, as in, if you could just have some drapes, or if you could just have some better posters, or if you could just rearrange your tapes, or something that may make it look better, because I like colorful posters, or I like colorful drapes. So that is your opinion, that will be your note. So make sure that if you are giving criticism, there are three parts. And if you are on the receiving end, if you are receiving criticism, make sure that you point out these three items. Everyone will not point it out, but like on the good side I want to say this, on the bad side I want to say this. Unless they are very professional critics, you may face this problem. So every time you receive criticism, make sure that you sort out these three parts. Number one, what is your good side in that criticism? What is the appreciation? And the second part is, what are the weaknesses that are being pointed, and what is the opinion that is strictly as a note from the giver, from the critique? What is the note that you may just stick it on the table and just have a look at it like I have pointed out. And finally, once we have understood what criticism is, if you are giving criticism to someone, you should know that these are the three parts your criticism must consist. And then if you are on the receiving end, you need to know how to respond. So what is the first thing we do when we receive criticism? Even if appreciation, even if weakness, of course we all know how we react to weaknesses, but when someone is giving appreciation, what is it that we do? I am just commonly mentioning this as criticism. The first thing we do is defend. And remember, do not defend. Do not defend. Do not defend. Defensive attitude or explaining something makes you seem weak. And if you are consciously asking for opinion, consciously asking for criticism, consciously asking for review, you cannot be defensive. That is, you don't have the right to be defensive. If you are asking someone for their opinion, for their review, for their suggestions, you cannot be defensive. You don't have the right to be defensive. So do not defend and do not make yourself weak. You must have the courage and strength to allow and accept and receive what the other person is offering you. So the number one rule is do not defend. As in, if someone told me that your background is messy, and if I say, oh, you know what, I just moved and I'm sorry, I couldn't just take out that baggage, and it means that I am very embarrassed of this. But the truth is, I am not embarrassed of this. And I know that I could very well be recording in front of my bookshelf like I always do, and I know that I can give reference to, but this background, I know that this would be very relevant to what I am saying. And I also know the every situation. So if I'm asking someone to make a comment on my background and they say that, oh, it's messy, I have no right to be defensive. Instead, and I won't be weak, you must have the minimum courage of accepting that what they are saying. Whatever, if you act on it, that is up to you. If you do not act on it, that is also up to you. And that's an airplane. Did you notice how silent it is? It's because of where we moved. It's a beautiful street. It's a beautiful, quiet street we have moved to. Anyway, so what I was saying is that you must have that minimum courage, or the estimated amount of courage and strength inside to receive what they are saying. Number one, do not defend. Number two, of course, you accept what they are saying. But when I say accept, it means that you have to just agree to whatever the other person says. You may not agree. So the easier term would be allow. Allow what they are saying. Just listen. There is no harm in listening. You can act on it. Again, you cannot act on it. That is totally up to you. But you must listen. You must allow for them to say what they are saying. And that is, if somebody is saying, oh my god, that is so messy, and your posters are so ugly, and your background is so ugly, and what is that, a laptop, and why is there no drape? I mean, come on. So what I can do is just to listen. And I will just, not defend. This is something I don't do because I am a strong person inside. The second thing is just listen to what they are saying. Maybe they have a point, and maybe I cannot make a point at that very instant. Maybe I am not able to make a point, and maybe they just don't have a point. They just understand pointing out weaknesses as criticism. I don't care if they are saying something. I will listen. And the third thing, that is a very secret trick that worked for me, and I know that it will work for you too. That is, take it as an option. Take their opinion, or take their notes, or take their appreciation as an option, because I know most of us grew up in a very misconception about humility and being humble. We know that if someone is giving an appreciation, not to receive it is somehow confused as being humble. This is not being humble. This is rude, and this is uh, bad manner, and this is being ungrateful. If someone finds something good, you should thank them for that. So never explain. If somebody says, oh, I love your background, and I say, are you crazy, this is just, a mess, it would be an insult for that person, because that person may feel, oh, I didn't notice that, oh, does this mean that I have bad taste? They're not thinking that, but eventually it means that you are insulting that person. Just like someone is giving you a gift and you don't receive, it means you are insulting that person. Don't do that. If someone gives you an appreciation, if somebody even says that I like the baggage over the cabinet and that closet, and I love how messy you are, I will say, oh my god, thank you, my soulmate. I will say that because somebody likes something, even if it is a lie. I don't care. I can and I do accept appreciation, and yeah, I'm very thankful. So you can cultivate too. And when they are saying something that you don't match, or when they are saying something that I don't totally agree with, to keep it as an option. It always works. It worked on me. It's a secret trick that I just came up with, like reverse engineering, or just it just came up with, and you can use it too. Please use it all the time. That is, take that as an option. It is only when you cannot accept what they are saying, and it is only when you find that very much disagreeable or very much contrary to what you are doing. And there is my son, my creative director, the mess maker. Okay. Okay. So if there is something that you don't agree with, or it doesn't at all go with your morality or with your ideas, it is totally contradictory. If you find something like that, it is impossible to act instantly, or maybe you don't want to act instantly. Whatever the situation is, keep it as an option. Let's say if somebody tells me about my background that you can put some drapes on your window, and I know that I cannot put a drape right away. There are so many things that I cannot do, so I will put it as an option. Maybe a drape will make it look better, even though this is very much reflecting and I am not as bright as it seems. But yeah, I will keep it as an option, and maybe I will try. There is no harm, because my idea is already there, and whatever your idea is, it's already there. If you have done it, it's already there. Your idea never vanishes. Idea never ever vanishes. And don't worry about credit. So if someone is giving you opinions, and if someone is pointing out the weaknesses, chances are they are actually working to make an idea better. I work to make ideas better. If any of my students are doing extremely good, that is, I take it as a credit, and I am very grateful. And when, of course, my students' success is my success, and I really take pride in that. But if I am giving criticism, and if I am giving something to them, and if I am approaching from a different angle, it doesn't mean that I am diminishing their idea. Their idea is already there. They laid a foundation for me, and there I am strengthening them. So when I am pointing out weaknesses for my students or for my followers, or if somebody sends me a message personally saying that would you have a look at this, and I am pointing out some weaknesses, it means actually they gave me the right to go through their idea, their design, or their writing, or their script, or anything, absolutely. And I point out the plus sides, and I point out the negative sides, the weaknesses that they can work on, and then I give some of my opinions, as in I am actually a fan of ground style, or I am actually a fan of storytelling style, or narrative style, anything. So I am giving you opinions from my perception of this. I don't know what is your style, and I ask them questions. So if your critic is doing the same, it means they're actually working, and it means they're actually trying to make your thing better and trying to work with you, trying to collaborate ideas, because this is addictive. You have no idea if you have never been there. So what you can do, if you don't want to work on your idea, you can just take it as an option and just put it there and just try something out. If you like, if you don't like, not now, but later you can. So these are the three three ways. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question, and just write down what I just said in the comment section. It will just make you remember. That is number one, do not defend. And number two, allow the opinions to flow. Allow and just receive what they're saying, or you can accept. Maybe not always you do accept, but you can allow them. And number three, take it as an option. If you cannot accept, sometimes you can accept, and then you just be thankful. If number one and two doesn't work, number three is take it as an option, because sometimes you can try that. And this definitely some of I think if any of you have been following me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, you will see that my artworks, I am displaying my artworks very recently. Very recently I'm displaying my artworks. And for those of you who know me very well, I don't know, I'm just taking a chance that this is not my style. I mean, that much very realistic and very, noise free, very clean. That is not my style. But guess what? My mentor for 2 years, he have been with me, and he just guided me. And sometimes he allowed me to be myself, that noisy self, that grungy self. He allowed me to be like that. And then when there was academic, then he guided me, and he strictly did not allow me to be that noisy and grungy self. And like I told you, this is a secret trick that I kept it as an option, and sometimes I tried that and it worked very well. And sometimes I tried my noise afterwards, my style, my lines afterwards, and it was just better. So I just win, and my mentor, of course, I dedicate all my success to my mentor. This always works. And of course, let me know if you have trouble accepting appreciation, because that is a very deep issue. Usually this issue originates with low self-esteem, or people who are seeking approval. As in, if someone is giving me an appreciation and I am just, oh no, stop, this is not that good, and I am just willing for them to keep repeating that, to just say it over and over again, it means I am just enjoying. I mean, that we can do friends, we can be fun, but yeah, if you are seeking approval like that, and if you're craving for that, it means it low self-esteem. But just do it. If somebody gives you an appreciation, just say thank you. As an appreciation, I really appreciate your patience and checking up on my channel. If you're for the first time, please click on the subscribe button. Please subscribe so you don't miss out any updates from 50 Shades of Creative, and click on that notification bell that notifies you every time I post a new video. And I hope that you have a great 2021. And yeah, I am very hopeful, because 2020, even though it didn't go as we have planned, as I have planned, but things that have come into my life, I didn't plan for them either. So I am very much in the mood of taking chances, taking risks, and yeah, making it an adventure. I am in the mood for that. Let me know what you are in the mood for of having in 2021 in the comment section. I will see you very soon. Thank you very much for being with me.